Hey, patrons, thank you so much for joining us. This is our monthly installment. I realize we missed, it's almost September, and the last one we did was June. I'll do better at that. I looked, I was like, oh, shoot. This is Build the Wall, where we just kind of give you an update. We have a conversation amongst ourselves, letting you know what is going on and what's new in the world of We Are Libertarians, and giving you an opportunity to get to meet everybody. And so want to just give a couple updates. We'll do kind of chit chat to people in just a second. If we just switched to Megaphone, which is a much more expensive podcast host, but along with that comes a lot more features, and I'll be able to do cross promotions and advertising and more accurate stats. And we just switched a week and a half ago, and like it actually tells you how many different listeners you have, which is really cool. So in the last, now what happens is over 30 days, people don't refresh their podcast thing every single day. And so, it takes a month to switch over, but over the last week, we have 6,812 listeners so far. So, which is more than I expected. So, now
it doesn't count just downloads, right? It's actual listener engagement.
Yeah. So it counts like I expect that to go way up, it's just been a week, for instance. And so, with every episode you put out, it starts to, it checks your downloads, but it also checks the device and it logs that. So it tells you specifically who is listening. The host that we had does stats well, but not as well as Megaphone. And so part of why I wanted to switch now was I wanted to build, switch right at 4 million downloads, so that way I know we're at 4 million and then can just add whatever's on this host. And secondly, we'll be able to sell ads at some point in the future. And so you don't want to be scrambling, trying to figure it out. You want 2 years worth of data. So that's why we switched. But really top-notch software that our patrons provide to us, and thank you guys so much. So next is Liberty Explained. We're working on research for the Liberty Explained project and going through and answering a ton of questions. Got some episodes already written and going to start recording. I need to get with Julian Levy and figure out a day to record. So that'll be coming soon. But, that without even launching an episode already has a couple hundred listeners. So right out of the gate, there's a strong desire for that. So we also have been posting a lot more to the blog with various writers. Mary's here. She's been writing some great stuff for the blog, and then Liberty Explained has some blog posts. And for the first time ever, we've been actually posting content, like sometimes 5 posts a day from the 2 websites, which is really exciting. So thank you to some of the writers for helping me get that set up and scheduling, but really scheduling and buffer. I wrote out 20 posts last weekend to schedule it out, and that just helps kind of amplify it. One of the people helping, and I'll let you introduce yourself, is Jacob. Jacob is doing some video editing and helping with some of the clips. Jacob, one of the problems is the shows are 2.5 hours long, and it's really hard to share with your friends. So I appreciate you cutting this stuff out, but mainly because I absolutely hate having to look at myself and listen to myself.
Yeah, it's pretty simple stuff, but it's just, it's just finding the best little nuggets to sell to people.
How are you making that decision? And are we so long-winded that that's nearly impossible?
Kind of sometimes. Sometimes there's a really good back and forth, but I have to be all right, I want this to be 3 minutes, so I just have to select that. But no, for the most part, it's pretty good stuff, or it's good stuff that that I can hear being played over an inspirational video or something.
Nice.
Okay, that's the bit.
If you can turn me into CT Fletcher, that'd be awesome. CT Fletcher's this weightlifting guy that all the weightlifting bros put his "you can do it" and over inspirational music, and you listen to 5 of those, you're so pumped.
Yeah. Man, I will say I did laugh really hard, and when I told all my other friends, progressive or whatnot, uh, when you said even Donald Trump's relationships with his children is transactional, that was really funny.
I
That
actually
or they're
got
not gonna.
yeah, I actually got some pushback from a listener on that. He's like, "You don't know that." I'm like, ask Tiffany Trump about that.
I mean, even it's still just funny. Or they're not going to invade your Chili's was also really funny.
Thank you. Well,
So
thanks
there's some good clips from all of y'all.
Well, thanks for stepping up and start to look out for those. And hey, we really love all you patrons, and you guys are the foundation of like sharing the material to like get the word out. So, Mary,
and if you can make me look better, that's great too.
Good luck. There's no CG. How's your CGI, Jacob?
Put a matte or a filter or something. I don't know.
Not very good with After Effects yet, but when I am, I'll get back to you.
Can you make him a deep fake? Like,
oh no!
Give me a Ben Shapiro WAP look. Mary, you've been writing some great stuff. What are you working on right now for the blog?
Right now, I am looking at the mail-in votes controversy and how COVID's affecting that as well.
And what was the last piece that you wrote?
The last piece, I was looking at the Portland riots, and I'm wondering if I should probably do another follow-up or something like that again.
Yeah, maybe on something like Kenosha. I loved what you wrote because it was so in-depth and like from multiple angles, and it was like a great news piece. It wasn't just, here's my hot take. It was like, here's the facts and here's what's going on, and you decide for yourself. So it was really, really good. All right. You're at Sbarro? I said that and she took a drink out of a Sbarro cup. Where are you at?
I'm at the Concord Mall where I live.
Okay.
And there's like a pizza place right next door, and I have a drink of like cherry Pepsi with me.
Oh, so. I love cherry Pepsi.
Me too.
So do you like go over there just to chill out, or what do you like just get out of the house?
Well, I have a seasonal position at Hobby Lobby. I'm a cashier there.
Okay.
And right now I'm just getting something to eat or drink before I start.
Cool. Well, we love Hobby Lobby. I've been drugged there many times. Well, thank you so much, and make sure you check out WeAreLibertarians.com to check out what Mary's working on. What have you kind of, on the mail-in ballot stuff, what's the focus of it? What have you learned so far?
Well, I think from what I'm finding out personally, people just want to get upset with Trump over it. I'm not really finding any evidence to directly connect him with that.
Mm-hmm.
The postmaster that was put in charge of everything he is new, but there was like a board that put him in place there. Mm-hmm. From what I'm finding out.
Cool. Yeah, I said, hey, find out what's going on with the mail stuff, and she said okay, and then that's literally all I told you, and then you go find out and do your research, and it's like a research paper on what's happening. I mean, it's really you're a very good writer and very detailed. So, well, thanks, Mary. We appreciate it, and enjoy your Sbarro. Christy, are you there? Do you want to talk? No.
I figure out how to unmute myself on this. I just had lunch, so my teeth are probably all full of food with my braces, so I'm not going to put video on, and I don't really have much to say, so carry on. It's good to listen.
Well, very good. That's the lovely Christy Avery, $100 patron, the queen.
And thank you for the shout out in the live show. I actually got to hear it live while I was driving around delivering signs.
Yeah, well, so I didn't want to say it on the big show, but I'm going back to college, and I'm taking the history of Britain before 1688, and I'm taking Spanish, which is horrible so far because I hate Spanish. And Christy Avery paid for my books. I just woke up one day, and there was my book money, and I really, really appreciate it, and it was so sweet of you. You do stuff like that all the time for all kinds of different people, and it's just you're so generous to people, and I truly appreciate it. She muted herself. Reinhold, let me ask you, like, how'd you get involved? How'd you get involved in We Are Libertarians? Because I don't remember. And when did you become a libertarian?
I'm going to unmute myself. Hold on a second.
Okay, thank you.
Now I am unmuted. No, I became a libertarian. So I have this thing where I think I always was a libertarian, but I never knew what that meant. But in trying to figure, I was trying to get Bush out of office, and I'm not talking about George W. I'm talking about his father, right? So he was running for election against Dukakis. So I was starting to push to support Dukakis to get him elected instead of Bush, because I wanted Bush out. And then I realized I didn't like anything that Dukakis wanted either. And I remember getting frustrated and telling one of my friends that I just wish that the government would just protect everybody else and otherwise just leave us alone to live our lives. That's exactly what I said. And he looked at me and says, "It sounds like you're a libertarian." And I went, "What is libertarianism?" I didn't know, because I grew up in a small school. We didn't have internet. We didn't have any of that stuff. So getting introduced to certain ideas didn't happen well. So AOL was just kind of starting about that time. So I started looking up what libertarianism was, and I went, "Oh, yeah, this is what I am. This makes sense." So that's kind of where that came from. But as far as We Are Libertarians, if I remember right, I met you when we were, I was running for office back in 2010, and started listening to the show and everything. And then Harry was doing the Discord, so I jumped into Discord and started talking to him. We did low-key WAL, and I was part of the 4-hour fests of audio we were doing there. And then I think I remember you telling Harry just to bring me on the show once in a while, and kind of got involved that way. So
cool.
But I remember I was doing some writing. So I used to do blog posts for years and years and years and years and years. But with everything that was happening with Heather, I kind of fell away from that. But I was trying to do some blog posts for We Are Libertarians, but just never. It's hard to get back into the swing of writing those types of posts, because
you have so many things that you want to do.
Yeah, I have a ton of things I want to do. I have all these ideas, and I have so little follow through, just because of time constraints. And like my work week this week was incredibly just frustrating and long. And I spent yesterday on a 6-hour call where I was having to argue with VPs for hours about wasting $1 million. And it was a frustrating experience. So I get off and I'm trying to talk to people, and I'm just getting easily angry and frustrated. And I ended up just shutting everything off and telling somebody to screw off, as it were. I think I used stronger language. And I just shut my phone off and went to bed.
Yeah.
At 8 o'clock last night. I was done. I'm done with this. I'm done talking to people today. So, but yeah, it just sometimes the amount of stuff I have to do with trying to take care of, a wife who's been sick, and parents who are both going through sicknesses and illnesses right now. And it's time consuming. So then I get to the point where I do have some free time, and I've got all these ideas I want to do. And then I just go, my brain shuts down, and I'm like, I need to just chill out and do something else.
Yeah, Jacob, like you look very young. Do all the cool stuff you want to do now, because the older you get, the more responsibility you get. There's just so many things I want to do.
The slower your brain works too, and the less energy you have.
Yeah.
You got to really keep on that with the doctors, because I had that where I was really bad shape, and I talked to the doctors, and they were like, "Oh, you're having low this, and you need this fixed," and I just didn't realize that over the years some of this stuff just doesn't work as well, and it starts interacting with other things that don't work as well, and then so getting some medicines to help bring that back up is wonderful, but it's still, you still kind of lose a step. That's why I look at Trump and Biden, and I go, yeah, they're both.
I can't imagine. I'm 30.
They're old.
I'm 36, and I'm taking Spanish, which I took at 22, and I'm like, this is a whole different, like, it's like my brain works differently than it did then. Not necessarily in a bad way. It's just I focused on one type of learning for so long. You know, I was telling my girlfriend Reagan the other day, I go, I haven't had to, like, I learn a lot for the show, but I haven't had to memorize anything since I was in college in 2005. So, like, memorization like that is, like, really, it's really, yeah, it is odd, how, you know, and, like, now if I don't work out, my body hurts, but then, like, I work out, so then my body hurts in a different way, but kind of better. It's just getting old. I always thought you old people, like, were just whiners, but it really does suck. Like, ugh. I wish I were young and full of tea like Jacob.
Oh, if I could go back and live with what I know now, oh, so much. I would own the world. Right.
All right. But enough of old man bitching hour. All right. Does anybody have anything for me, like any kind of questions or feedback or anything that you guys need?
I'm good, man.
All right, cool. All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. If that is it, that is it. If you are a patron at the $100 level, you're more than welcome to join us. We send out the email. Our contributors are always welcome to come and hop on. So thank you everybody for tuning in. And if you have any questions, if you can't make one of these or you have a concern, then please feel free to email me, spangle@wearelibertarians.com, and I'll be happy to get back with you. All right. Thanks, everybody, for taking a little bit of time and joining us.
Thank you.
Bye, Christy.
Thanks for having us.
Bye, guys.